October is Transport Month, and Anang Mangato has been recognized for her work in the industry. She's won a Youth Achiever Award at the Freight Awards.
Ngxeketo is the mastermind behind the Mamoja Trading and Projects, which provides cost-effective transportation solutions for its customers in the Northwest. For more on this discussion, we are joined now by Anna this morning. Anna, thank you so much for your time this morning. First of all, congratulations. I think that it's fantastic, especially during a time where it is October, that is Transport Month. We get to celebrate young black women within the transport sector of industry, something that we don't always do. So just talk to us a little bit about how exactly you got into this industry. It's actually seen as a sector of industry that is predominantly very masculine, very manly industry, and here you are dominating as you would be.
Thank you, Faith, for having me in your show this morning, and Mr. Mutumbi. Good morning to everybody and the viewers. Yes, I must say it hasn't been an easy journey. As a young black woman in an industry that is male-dominated, we are faced with challenges that requires us to work thrice as hard as our male counterparts. But I must say that this has not only catapulted us to a point whereby we are where we are, but it has also groomed us to strive and actually thrive in this industry. So yes, I chose to be in this industry because I saw that not too many women are keen to be part of this industry because of these challenges that they have to face, but most importantly because of the red tapes that are there. You must understand that I'm currently offering my services in the mining sector. So not only must I master my knowledge in the transport sector, but I also had to make sure that I master my knowledge in the mining sector as well. So I see that as a red tape for most women, especially young people, to get into the transport industry. But yeah, because of that, I had to put together a highly qualified team to ensure that I strive and survive and remain in the industry.
Ms. Mangato, do you find that it is incredibly unfortunate that a woman has to first get into an industry to get rid of this stigma, the stereotype that it is male-dominated, that you have to break a certain chain before you actually deal with what is at the heart of it, which is the problem in the industry, providing a service in that industry? You find that it always has to be, we're celebrating, oh yay, the first black woman too, or the first woman too, instead of this is a woman that is providing a service. I mean, when are we going to stop dealing with that kind of narrative that Anang Ngxeketo is, we're celebrating her because she's a woman that is breaking boundaries in an industry as opposed to just a woman that is providing great service?
Yes, I find it very much unfair, as I've mentioned, that you find ourselves in a position whereby you have to work twice as hard to prove that you are able to provide the services. If you look at it, I say it's an industry where we can coexist with men. We are equally capable, and I think we should be given the same platform as men to actually prove ourselves beyond just being typically measured based on the fact of our gender.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the value chain, Anna, as well as job creation in that regard, because what you're doing is also providing job creation for those communities in Marikana. Now, in the South African context, as soon as you say Marikana, it's a very, very painful point. One that will not go away anytime soon, and I hope that is one that will never be forgotten. But here you are saying that let's give something of hope, rather, to the community of Marikana. Talk to us a little bit about just some of the opportunities that you've spotted in the value chain and how you're creating employment in that regard.
Okay. I was born and raised, you must understand, I was born and raised in Papong, which Marikana is part of. I know poverty. I've seen marginalized and unprivileged families. And for me, creating jobs simply means giving back to the people and changing the status quo by sharing what I have with my people. So as Mamoja, we remain driven to uplift communities in which we operate. We couldn't think of a sustainable way of giving back to our community, to our people, than creating jobs. Hence, now we have started an in-house program called Aridire Mmogo, which basically means let's work together, whereby we take youth, especially women, with code 10 and 14 and actually train them so that they can be able to access this market. Because in many times we would request experience from them, which we have never offered them in the beginning. And I see that as a gap that we had to close as Mamoja. And we have successfully done so, such that we have trained operators, because we also deal with yellow plant hire. We have operators that we have successfully trained and are currently operating, as well as employed some of the women which are driving trucks at the moment. And not only do we do that, as I've mentioned, that I was raised in these rural areas, we also offer support to schools in form of donations and support the NGOs that are actually trying to better the living standards that we live under.
What are some of the challenges that you face, Anna? And I imagine there are a lot of them. Obviously, the underestimation as a woman in an industry that is male-dominated must be very top of the list. But what are some of the other challenges that you have to deal with every day?
Okay, you must understand that we've only been operating for a year and a half now. And one of the biggest challenges we have is the fact that as much as we are able to deliver, we know what we are meant to do. We face challenges in terms of funding. You must understand this industry that we're into, the type of machinery that we're using is very expensive. But like I always say, for every challenge, there's a solution. We have managed to jump that hurdle and managed to buy ourselves 2 tankers without assistance from third parties. And we have collaborated with other businesses, which is what I always tell people. We've managed to collaborate with other businesses and ask them to assist us where we didn't have enough resources. Because in a year and a half that we've been operating, we've managed to increase our scope of work. Our clients have somehow gained confidence in us and increased our scope of work. We've there and there scored long-term contracts. We are now ISO 9001 accredited and SANS 1395 accredited. So I always tell people that, you know, success doesn't happen overnight, and many people tend to think that. But through this journey, I've learned that I've learned to survive and actually overcome failures and to survive rejection. And it's unfortunate that in many times we don't tell people that it is through these challenges that our character is being built. And once you have been through these challenges, when you get into the boardrooms and request for opportunities, you no longer actually beg but show value. And once you show value, people see it, they have no choice but to respond to it.
I think I love what you're saying, that once you enter into a boardroom and you show value, they've got no choice. But there's one thing that I want to labor on very quickly before we let you go, is you mentioned the notion of collaboration. A lot of businesses and medium enterprises and small businesses are acting on and behaving and operating in silos, whereas there is power in collaboration, but there's almost a fear of collaborating with each other in the business. Just talk to us about your entrepreneurial experience in collaboration and how that has benefited you, for example.
Okay. Yes, it is. I always tell people that they need to do their due diligence. You can't just collaborate with anybody you come across on the street. So the first thing is to do your proper due diligence, because remember, it's your brand that you're carrying out there. So you need to collaborate with somebody who will be able to align with your brand so that it doesn't get tarnished at the end of the day. I'm one person who does that. And it has worked well for me. I'm one person, whenever there are challenges, I communicate, which is one thing that we fail to do as young people, to say when you encounter challenges, communicate. I maintain relationships, and I always make sure that my staff is always on top of things, you know. As much as we collaborate with people, at the end of the day, the whole work relies with us. So that is how I've thrived in this business, through collaboration.
Anna, congratulations for this achievement, and I think congratulations for just the work that you are putting in and how you continue to break boundaries and show that, you know, this is not really something that should be gender specific. You know, there is no industry in this world that should ever be gender specific. So we can only hope that from here on greater things come from Mamoja Trading. But we'll leave it there with you. Thank you so much. That is Anna Ngxeketo, of course, who is heading up Mamoja Trading.